Hello and welcome to the tutorial on alarms configuration. My name is Chris Glenville and I'm the systems engineer at Station Innovation, and I just wanted to take you through some of the basic configuration parameters for monitoring your available sensors. To begin, open up a web browser and go to www.ecosat.com.au, or equally go to www.stationinnovation.com.au. Log in with your username and password, and the first page you'll be presented with is what we call our sensor summary page. From this page, just click on the device that you'd like to configure, and the very last option down the bottom here, which just gives you some basic information on the device, if you click on that, it takes you to your configuration of the device. You can also get to this window by going to devices itself and then choosing the device, which it does for me automatically. Now, this particular device is a 4-input device, so you see we have sensors 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, although it has 4, I'm only using the 1, and attached to that 1 input we have the water bullet. Now, in addition to that 1 sensor, which is on the connectors around the outside of the EcoSAT device, we also have 3 other system sensors. That is the battery alarm, so if the battery starts to fall away a bit, lose some capacity, we'll get an alarm about that. A silence alarm, if it suddenly gets hit by a meteorite and we never hear from it again, a silence alarm will go off. Or alternatively, if something unusual happens and it starts erratically sending messages for any particular reason before it racks up a huge bill, it'll send me an alarm about that as well. Those are automatically configured and set to defaults by the system when the device is created, so in general you don't need to worry about those. The one that we're going to look at is the first sensor here plugged into input 1. It's a water bullet, and we're just going to go here to the edit alarms page. Now, this page is where you choose when it is you'd like to be notified. So we have the serial number of the device, its name, the sensor, what the sensor type is, and then the most important bit is it must be enabled. If it's not enabled, that kills all of your alarm monitoring straight away, so we want to make sure that that box is ticked. Now, for a water bullet, we really only have 2 options. We have above and below. Now, we can add, if required, we can add between, so if the water level gets between a certain limit, if it goes outside a certain limit, there are a few other options here, but in general we just have above and below. So we just click and drag the slider to where it is we'd like it to be, and you can see that the red zone here on my tank is the alarm zone and the blue zone is the non-alarm zone. So if I wanted to say, let's say I would like to get a message or an email or an SMS when the tank falls below 750 millimeters, that's where I'd want to set it. Now, if I want to give myself a little bit more warning and say I'd like it to alarm when it gets below, let's say halfway, if it's a 3-meter tank, so let's say 1500 millimeters, then that would be where I'd set it. And you can see that the alarm zone increases and decreases with my slider. So we'll set it to say 750 millimeters. Now, let's say that this is a trough or a tank that happens to go up and down quite a lot. It may be normal for the tank to get below 750 millimeters. That doesn't mean that I want to know about it straight away. What would be abnormal is if the tank doesn't fill up again, let's say within 8 hours. That would mean that something's gone wrong with the pump or the refill system. So what I can do here is I can say I want to delay the notification by 8, 16, 12 hours a day, however long. Well, let's say I don't want to know about it until 4 days, so which means it's got to be below 750 millimeters for 4 days consecutively before it'll send me an alarm. Now, in this case, I've set it at 1500 millimeters because I want to give myself plenty of time to get out there and solve the issue, and I'm going to leave my delay notification at 0. So as soon as it goes below 1500, email me straight away. Even if I wanted to say make it below 1500 millimeters continuously for 1 day, then I'd set it to there. But as I said, in this case we'll just keep that at 0. So the delay notification is at 0 hours, so that is to be notified immediately. Now, there are 2 final pieces to this. one is a notification time. Now we have, in addition to this, we have notifications. And what they do is they allow you to say, when I get out of bed in the morning or last thing at night before I go to sleep, I want to know what the tank is. Now this is regardless of the level. So what I can do is say, let's put a 6 AM in here. And it says that SMSs may be charged depending on the billing and account contract that you have with Station Innovation. In general, you'll get a number of free SMSs per day, but you'll have to discuss that with our business management team to find out exactly what your billing arrangements are. So let's add a 6 AM and say a 10 PM, and again it warns me that I may be incurring an expense. So here we have 10 PM and 6 AM. Now that means that those two times every single day I'll get a notification no matter what the tank level is. And a lot of people like that just as a awareness that, yep, it's still there, it's still reading my tank levels, and I know even though it's not alarming, everything's quite normal. Now we have three options here. You can choose an audible notification on the website. When you log in, it'll actually make a noise at you, which can be quite irritating or frustrating. An email or an SMS, and then once you click save, that's it. So we'll just recap this particular device with this serial number. It's input 1, the water bullet. When it goes below a level of 1500 millimeters, immediately it will send me an email and an SMS. In addition to that, at 10 PM and at 6 AM it will also send me an email and an SMS. Now if I wanted to test this, I can click the test button, and what that will do is say if my sensor is in an alarm zone, it tests your sensor against your alarm settings and your email and SMS settings, and if it is in an alarm zone, it'll send you an SMS or an email. So it just tests your configuration, so you can put your water bullet in a state that you would like to be in an alarm, and then set it up how you'd like it to set it up, and then click test. If I say, for example, had it configured to never send me an alarm, and I click test, I won't get an email or an SMS because there is no alarm zone. It can't be in an alarm zone, so I won't get an email or an SMS. And that's how you're testing that your configuration is correct. It's not testing the mobile phone number or the email address that you've put in, but it's actually testing the configuration of your alarm itself. Now there is another element to this, which is configuring your contact details, which is the emails and the SMS and mobile numbers that the system uses to get a hold of you. We'll do that in another tutorial about setting up your contact information. But as far as your alarm goes, that's it. For a water bullet, that's all there is to it.